Hello, magical one. Nicola here. Welcome to The Mic Is Yours, this free visibility training for soul-led authors, entrepreneurs, creatives, magicians, whatever you are. This training is designed to shift your relationship with visibility, to create a more empowered, emboldened relationship with the way you show up with your message, with your magic, with your medicine. So we're going to dive in. Before we do that, I wanted to share a card that I've pulled for us. Generally, when I'm hosting a session like this, whether it's live, whether it's recorded, certainly when we're coming together, like with a shared intention or a similar intention, I will pull a card, generally from this deck, Tara Jackson's amazing embodied wisdom. It's a very well used deck. This is the card that I've pulled for us today. When I tuned into what do we need to know? What is the vibe of this session? The mic is yours. Foundations. So I'm just going to read the message from this one. I'll put my glasses on. What foundations are you building right now? Is it time to lay the groundwork for what is coming through you? This might be a project or something you're creating. It could be something you are looking to change in your life. This card is an invitation to deeply spread your roots, honoring this part of the process so that what you build or grow will be fully supported on your steady foundations. Beautiful. I love that vibe for us. Because when it comes to showing up and being visible, when we can feel really grounded and supported and know that every single piece that we share, whether it's something like this, whether it's a post on social media, whether it's an email you're sending, whether it's literally taking the mic and speaking on a stage somewhere, like each piece that you share is creating powerful foundations, or there's the potential for it to be creating foundations for you, for the work you're doing in the world, like for the impact you're here to have. Okay, let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. I have some slides for us. The slides are really to keep me on track, to be honest. Us magical beings, us unbound beings can go off on tangents. I love a tangent. And also, I'm mindful of your time. So I want to get to all of the pieces that I want to be sharing with you today. As it says here, this training is about how to stop performing or having that kind of performative energy when it comes to visibility and shift into transmitting, really radiating like the message, the magic, the medicine you're here to share. Too many magical women struggle with visibility, like maybe find it overwhelming or exhausting. Like maybe, and when I talk about magical women, I'm talking about like humans like you who are weaving some kind of magic in the world. Maybe you are an author, a transformational author, a spiritual author. Maybe you're a creative. Maybe you are doing magical work in the world, like some kind of transformational work. And what can happen when it comes to showing up with that is, like I said, we can slip into this place of overwhelm or exhaustion because there are so many different ways that we could be being visible. And it's becoming more and more. There's more and more options. There's more and more platforms. There's more and more kind of modes of being visible. It can feel completely, we are bombarded with content and information more than we ever have been. And it's where is my place here? And maybe when we add into the mix, like maybe you're perimenopausal, maybe you are neurodivergent in some way, maybe you have family responsibilities. Maybe you're in that sandwich generation place where you have kids and also elderly parents or a parent, or you have some other caring responsibilities. Maybe you have some kind of chronic health condition. Or maybe like the world we are living in can feel incredibly overwhelming and exhausting. When we try and add visibility into the mix, like another thing to do, however passionate we are about the work that we're doing, the impact we want to have, it can feel too much. And talking of too much, like the next piece here is that we can be scared of being too much, or that showing up and being visible is self-indulgent in some way. Particularly, you might have heard that sharing your story, sharing from your personal experience is powerful, and it is. It's really powerful. But for a lot of us, we've been brought up not to do that, to be really mindful of being too much, like sharing too much of ourselves, being too big for our boots. Don't make it all about you. Think about everyone else. So, all of that is in the mix as well. And maybe also you've become really disheartened with the impact you're having. Yeah, maybe you don't see the engagement you would like to see. You put a post out, you think, wow, this is super, super powerful. Crickets. Maybe you send an email, if you have an email list, you don't get anything back. So it feels like you are doing all of this work. And let's be honest, like visibility could be a full-time job if we allow it to be. It certainly felt like that for me at times. And you don't seem to be getting the response that you feel you deserve. And you do deserve it. If there's one thing I know, if you are watching this, if you are connecting with this, you are super freaking magical. Like I use the word magical a lot. Like the work you are doing is important. It's necessary. It's powerful. It's impactful. Like it really is making a difference in the world. So in this training, my intention is to create a shift for you, a shift in your perspective, a shift in your way of being, a reset where you're able to engage with the idea of being visible and the actual embodiment of being visible in a different way, in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming or exhausting, where that piece around being too much or self-indulgent doesn't come up so much. I'm not saying it will never come up because we've been trained to feel that way. And that you're creating more of the impact that counts. So if we haven't met before, hi, Nicola. I mean, I dove straight in there, but let me just really briefly introduce myself a little bit. I'm an author. So I'm author of Heal You're in a Good Girl, Unbound Writing, How to Write the Transformational Book You're Really Here to Write, and most recently, the Abundant Author Playbook. I am the rebel leader of the Unbound Press, which is a soul-led publishing company for magical women writing world-changing books. Truly believe we can change the world one book at a time. I am the space holder for the Unbound community. So for our authors, for people who are in the community writing their books, for the people that I'm working with around their business, both authors and non-authors. You certainly don't have to be an author for this training to apply to you. If you are, though, rock on, that's amazing. because you already have an abundance of content to be sharing from. My background is in finance. So I worked in finance. I followed what I would call like the good girl path, what I thought was expected of me up until my late 30s. So I worked in finance before realizing like my unbound self was like, no, this cannot be anymore. So made the intuitive leap to retrain as a hypnotherapist and a coach back in 2009, and I've been running my own business since 2010. I started off as a hypnotherapy practice and evolved into online coaching, mentoring, and the Unbound Press came into being through my own books. Launched the Unbound Press in 2018, and so far we've released over 70 books into the world. From starting in 2010, I've grown my business, grown my community, grown my impact. The Unbound Press is it's a six-figure business. I've really learned the ropes when it comes to visibility. It's a key piece of what I do. It's a key piece of what I hold space for the members of the Unbound community. I am based in Southampton in the UK, although when the Unbound Press was launched in 2018, I was living over in the States. Spent a few years over there before moving back to the UK. So that is me. Yeah. So what I want you to know, you didn't come here to try and get it right. That is not the most helpful use of your time or your energy because there is no right way. There's no wrong way, there's no right way. And we can get overly focused on, oh, if I could just get it right, if I could just get my content pillars sorted out, if I could just share my message in that one way where it's going to go viral. If I could just do reels, if I could just have the perfect content plan, then everything would fall into place. No, you could do all of those things perfectly and still not have the impact that you want to have and still not feel good in your being around the way you're sharing. Like, it could still feel off for you. So, like I said, that is not the best use of your time and energy trying to get it right. Being in like comparisonitis, looking at what everyone else is doing, go, oh, maybe I should do that too. Like sometimes that can spark off fun ideas. Like I'm here for that. But when we are judging ourselves unfavorably, that is not a helpful energy to be in. Like you came here to feel true. You know, that feeling in your body, in your being, like, ah, yeah, this is me. When was the last time you felt like that? When you were sharing, when you were showing up? You're not here to perform. You don't have to perform unless that feels good for you, unless that feels fun. You're here to transmit, to radiate your magic, your message, your medicine, that unique piece that you are here to share. So let's dive in. So, right now, what I can say 100% is you have got something powerful to say. You've got something powerful to share. I truly believe that each one of us has a piece, a vital piece of this puzzle that we are piecing together at the moment that the world needs. Your piece is vital. But at the moment, it's getting filtered. It can feel super challenging not to filter ourselves. Like maybe in the moment you're like, yes, this is what I want to say, this is what I want to share. You get a download, you're out for a walk, you're in the shower, yes. And then part of you comes through, chimes in, it's okay, but is it really okay to share that? Like in its fullness? Like a part of us will rein us in. So the message gets watered down. Like we know when that's happening, when that's happening. You can probably think of a lot of examples of times when you wanted to say something, and maybe it's not even in the words that you used, but energetically, you were like, you pulled back from it. Like, I get it. I get it. Often it hasn't felt safe for us to show up in our fullness. We're used to watering ourselves down, to like monitor it and going, is this okay? Is it okay if I say it like this? Is it okay if I allow my voice to be fully expressed? Is it okay if I show up in my fullness? And very often the message has been like, I'm not sure. So when it comes to visibility, yes, you're showing up. I have no doubt about that. Maybe you're showing up a lot. Maybe you're showing up every day or most days in one way or another. You have done the work. You're doing the work, but you're not fully there. Like you can feel there's this sense of disconnection. It might be really subtle, but if you're watching this, like there's a reason that you felt attracted, that you felt drawn to this training. There's a part of you that isn't fully there when you're sharing. And to be honest, I'm going to be talking about how to allow more of your fullness into your visibility practice. And the way I see this, like visibility, the way we show up, it gets to be a practice. It gets to be like part of our spiritual practice. It gets to be a part of our creative practice. And I want to add a bit of a disclaimer because, yes, I want you to show up in your fullness, or I'm inviting you to show up in your fullness. And also, this is not like about 100% of the time. There will be days when it's like, oh, it's just not quite happening today. That's okay. You can still have an impact when you are doing all of these things, when you're filtering yourself, when you've reined it in a bit, when you've watered yourself down. Like I know I can still have a powerful impact when I'm doing all of those things. But the more you can be showing up in your fullness, the more of you can be bringing into your visibility practice, the more impact you're going to have, the more people you will attract into your world, the deeper the connection you will create with the people who are already in your world. So when we slip into performance, and when I talk about performance, as I said earlier, if it feels good to you to put on a bit of a show, amazing. If that's a natural part of your personality, great. But if you are slipping into the shoulds and you're being performative in that way when it comes to visibility, I mean, there is an inherent kind of quality of performance when it comes to being visible a lot of the time. But if you're doing it in a kind of a misaligned way, say if it's coming from this place of should or obligation, or I saw her doing that, so I feel like I need to do that as well. this is what happens. Like, one, you feel disconnected from your message. And if you feel disconnected from your message, then your people will feel that as well. Yeah. If you're focused more on like the should, it's like, "Oh, I just want to get this out there. I just want to get on this over with as soon as possible." There's a mismatch there. There's an energy of disconnection. You're also going to experience creative fatigue. Like, you are a magical creative being. Your potential for creativity and expression is boundless. I know that. And you get to tap into it. But when you are showing up in a performative way, when you're coming from a place of should, it's really hard to tap into that natural, your inherent creativity. So that well becomes dry. It's like it just feels hard. And there are so many ways, or what do I want to say? There's something around AI here. We have all of these tools available to us now where we can tap into this kind of artificial creativity. It's, oh, I know, there's just nothing there. So I'm going to let ChatGPT just create something for me. Like, I'm a big fan of whatever AI tool you prefer to use, if any. That I have a great relationship with ChatGPT myself, but also I'm not relying on ChatGPT for my creativity. Like, I am lit up with ideas. I have more ideas in terms of what to share than I know what to do with. And from this place of connection, from this place of flow. When you are showing up in a performative way, like, it's the energy with which we do things. Like, you know this. I'm not saying anything new, but I want this to land with you in a different way. Because, like I said, when we're showing up from this place of performance, however much you do, you can be sharing every day. You can be sharing multiple times a day. And believe me, I've had seasons like this and still low to no engagement, even though you're trying, even though you're trying so hard, even though you're doing everything you've been told you should. No, it's not landing. You can be in this place of always wondering, hang on, am I saying the right thing? Am I saying it quite the right way? If I just got the words right, if I just said this in the right way, it would make a difference. And am I saying this in a way that's going to offend somebody, is going to trigger somebody, is going to piss somebody off? We're always in that place of like self-judgment. We're not in the place of trust. We don't trust ourselves. So this training, activation, because this is a big part of what it is. It's about, let's stop performing, let's start transmitting and trusting, like trusting yourself. You know how to communicate, you know how to share your message. When you trust yourself. So there's an invitation here to reframe visibility, because visibility, impactful visibility, It isn't about posting more. Like I said, you could be posting all day, every day. You could be on social media 24/7. If the energy is off, if you're not in that place of trust, if you're doing it because you feel you should, it's not going to have an impact. So it's not about posting more. It's not about being louder. Like you can be introverted and have a really potent message. You can show up in a really potent way. Like I'm an introvert, a natural introvert. I've still created a really vibrant and successful business and community, like showing up in a way that feels good for me and still honoring like who I am. Like I said, it's not about saying the right thing. There is no magical right thing. There is no magical right way. My invitation to you, and this is a piece I talk about in the Abundant Author Playbook, is reframing visibility as connection. So when we talk about visibility by its very nature, we get focused on like how we're seen. Yeah, it's very visual. It's about looking good, looking right. Yeah, and we want you to be seen. Absolutely. We want your work to be noticed. But when you shift the focus to connection, the energy of connection to your work, like imagine if your visibility practice, if the way you show up gets to connect you more deeply to your work, to the work you're here to do. So it's not something on the side that, oh, I've got to show, I've got to do my visibility. It's no, it actually fuels the work that you're here to do. It expands it. It creates a deeper sense of connection with you. Yeah, that's what we're here for. Creates deeper connection with your people. Like just feel into that for a moment. If you're sharing from this place of, oh, how amazing, I get to connect. I get to connect more deeply with my people, with everything I share. Like even if you're not getting a ton of engagement, even if you're not getting any engagement, if you trust that connection is happening because it is, believe me, if you are sharing from this place of where your intention is connection to your work, to yourself, to your people, to your unique voice, because your voice is unique, then it will be having an impact. It will be creating deeper connection. Even if you're not seeing the evidence of that, like straight away in likes on your posts or comments on your post or replies to your email, it is going in. It's weaving its way to where it needs to go. It's landing with the people that it needs to land with. And you will receive evidence of that impact in many different ways, sometimes unexpected ways. And you get to trust that. So this is about moving from, like I said, performing, over editing, wanting to share something, and maybe you write it out, maybe you record a voice note, maybe you record a quick video or a story, and then it's all, hang on, I need to edit this. I need to make it better. I need to make it more perfect. And we edit all of the magic out of it. That can happen when you're writing a book as well. Or trying to be palatable, trying to be nice, trying to be approved of. It's all of these good girl pieces. If you are sharing in a way where your main intention is, I just want people to like me. I just want people to approve of me. I don't want to piss anyone off. And I'm not necessarily, unless this is a part of your personality, your energy. I'm not talking about being controversial for the sake of it, but you don't want to be sharing from this place of, oh, just like me, just approve of me. No. So we're shifting from that to like transmitting, just sending it out. Can you feel that? We'll have a chance to connect with that energy a bit more a little bit later on in this session. Resonating, just feeling that energy of what you're sharing. Like I often say this when it comes to writing books, it's not so much the words that you write. Like, of course, words are important when you're writing a book. There has to be words in your book. It's the energy of the words that is just important. Your book gets to be like this energetic transmission. Everything you share is the potential for it to be that. Like people will see and connect with what you're sharing, whether it's a video, whether it's a social media post, whether it's an email, and they feel it. And it's leading with your full spectrum truth. What I mean by that is not just the pieces that are nice and shiny. Yay, look at me, everything's going really well. But it's allowing the full range of your experience, your full spectrum truth to be felt, to be seen. And again, this is not about, oh, share a vulnerable post because that works when it comes to being visible. Yes, being vulnerable absolutely can create deeper connection, but not when it's coming from a performative place of, oh, I'm doing this because I've been told I should. Mm, no. Where are we going? So, this is what we're talking about. This is what we get to shift into the transmission method. So, tapping into these 8 things, had to count there. And like, I don't want you to look at this and think, oh my goodness, there's so much to think about. Is this not another should? No, basically, this is different layers of the same thing. So let's run through these. The first thing is like your truth. Like you know when something feels true in your body, when that share drops in, it's like, oh, you feel excited to share it. Yes. Like it might not make sense. It might not fit with your content plan, what you thought you'd be sharing, but there's something drops in. It's, you feel it in your body, in your being. And then you talk yourself out of it because it's, but no, it doesn't really make sense. Will people really get it? I've never quite said anything like that before. So do I not need to give more context? Maybe it's a bit of a pivot from what you've said before. So it's, oh, I need to give people a heads up. It needs to be a whole thing. What if you just showed up and said it? What are you really here to say? What are you really here to say right now? Maybe it's not what you've been saying up until now. Maybe there's a slight shift. Maybe there's a big shift. Or maybe it is what you've been saying, but you haven't been allowing yourself to really be in the truth of it. So, this is where the second piece comes in, resonance. What is the frequency of your message? What is the energy of your message? My message over the years has shifted with each of the books that I've written. They're markers of the evolution of my message. Like I still get to dance with each of them. I still talk about the good girl, like that's a big piece, the inner good girl when it comes to visibility. But now with the abundant author, like the frequency has changed. I can feel it with the book. It's whew, it feels much lighter, much more expansive. playful. It's hard to put into words, but I can feel it. So when you ask yourself the question, like, what's the frequency of your message? I know you understand this language. Like, what's the energy of your message when you feel into it in your body, in your being, when you feel into that energy of radiating it out, transmitting it out? How does it feel? What qualities does it have? Like, you get to connect with that every time you share. It doesn't have to, you don't have to go into some elaborate meditation. But it's, hang on, what is the frequency I'm sharing from here? And again, I'm going to caveat that by saying you don't always have to feel amazing when you're sharing. You don't always have to be feeling like high vibe, high frequency. No, it's not about that. It's sharing from your truth, but also having an appreciation, like noticing the frequency of your message. It'll be different, completely different to somebody else's. That might be quite subtle, but somebody else could be talking about exactly the same things. They could be using exactly the same words that you're using. It would feel completely different, or is the potential for it to feel completely different. So the third piece is alignment. Does this message feel true in your body? Maybe you've been talking about the same thing or a similar thing for a long time. It's familiar to you. And tapping back into that idea of truth, like maybe it's shifted or it wants to shift a little bit. So always checking in, like when we're sharing something, like does it feel true in my body now? Does it feel aligned? Does it still feel aligned? N is for your nervous system. Are you safe to be seen? Does it feel safe for you to be seen? It might not. It can feel really risky, if not downright dangerous for us to be seen, particularly in our truth, particularly if you haven't been sharing quite from this place before. It can feel risky. So we get to acknowledge that. And we also get to support our nervous system. You get to have tools, practices that help us to feel safer. And cultivate, I often talk about this in the Unbound community. Like I can never guarantee that a space will feel totally safe. I can't say it's 100% safe for you to show up and be seen. I can't say it's 100% safe for the authors I work with to write their book and to share that with the world. I cannot guarantee that for you. I can invite you into a space, a brave space, a space for you to be courageous and invite you, help you to have tools, practices in place that soothe your nervous system. And actually, the more you show up from this place of your truth, transmit from this place, like over time, you do get to create more of that sense of safety for yourself. S, signal. Like sending your signal out into the world for the people who are here to receive it. Are you posting like a portal? Are you posting like the portal you freaking are? You are. Your message is a portal. Your magic is a portal. You are a portal. Like each of your posts, like I talk about this with books, like when we write a book, we're creating this portal for ourselves as the authors we are, and also for our readers. It's the same, or it gets to be the same for every post you share, every email. Like they get to be a portal, they get to create a shift for you and also for your people. So, are you posting like a portal or a pitch? Like it's okay to pitch. It's okay to have a call to action. It's okay to sell your offers. Yeah, we want to be doing that. It's a big piece of visibility. But knowing that everything you share is like this potent signal that you are radiating out into the world gets to be a portal, creating a shift from one place into another every single time. M is for magnetism, like becoming magnetic, being your most magnetic self, letting energy lead before strategy. Now, I'm totally here for strategy. Mm, got a hair in my mouth. Yeah, totally here for strategy. But if we just have the strategy and the energy is not backing it up, then like I said, it's not going to work. You can have perfect content pillars, a perfect content plan. You can be doing all the right things, but if the energy is not there, it's not going to work. Or it might work to a degree. It's going to feel flat. It's not going to work half as well as it could. It's not, it's going to feel hard. So we start from energy. We start from your frequency. We start from the truth of what you're here to share, that place of resonance, alignment. And then it becomes much less important actually what you're sharing because you're coming from this place of like magnetism. You know what it's like when you feel really good and you're walking down the street and you're radiating, you're radiant. You can feel people just catching your eye, saying hello. I'm sure there have been times in your visibility practice where you've shared something that's felt really good. You felt really good. You've maybe let a part of you be seen, let a part of you show up that hasn't before, or in a different way. You feel that magnetism. That's what we want to be cultivating. I is for integration. This is really important. It kind of ties in with the foundations cards that I pulled at the beginning. Like making visibility a sustainable and dedicated practice. I'm not going to use the word consistent. That can trigger a lot of us. That kind of, I don't know, it might not be for you, but the word consistent can have a bit of a heavy energy. But also, we do want to be showing up in a dedicated way for you, because when you're doing this, like we definitely get to ebb and flow. A big part of living unbound, writing unbound, like running your business in an unbound way is we get to work in alignment with your cyclical nature. And also, like your message is important. Like it's important to you. It is. This is something you're not doing the work that you're doing because you feel you should. You're doing it from this place of you feel called to it. So why wouldn't you want to be sharing it in a dedicated way? But we want to make it, we want to allow visibility to feel sustainable, to have that energy of dedication, devotion. So, yeah, it has an impact then in terms of thinking of like your nervous system. The more you're doing this, the safer it feels, the more natural it feels. Like those foundations are there. Just hopping in, like sharing a post, then getting out again. Whew, done it. No, this feels good. This is part of who I am. And T is for take the mic. That might be metaphorically, it might be actually. Like speaking as the embodied voice of your work. Speaking is the embodiment of your work. That's what you get to do. Transmit. So you want to think about what's been holding you back from being in that place of transmission up until now. So it could be the good girl voice, like that part of you who is wanting to get it right, to fit in, to please others. Like how much impact has that part of you been having up until now? It could be that fear of being too much, which we spoke about earlier. How much is that showing up for you? And that can show up in quite subtle ways. It might not be that you're thinking of doing anything like outrageous, but the ways that we rein ourselves in, that we subtly hold back, yeah, all has an impact. Maybe there are some visibility wounds, like from times when showing up didn't feel safe. And we've talked a little bit about that safety piece. Women, marginalized groups, it hasn't felt safe. It can feel more and more unsafe in the current times we're living through to show up with our message, with our magic, with our medicine. So, like, we get to acknowledge those wounds. Maybe you've shown up in the past and you've received criticism, judgment, anger, misunderstanding. And that could be like in your business with the work you're doing, or it could be in your personal life. And that has impacted the way you show up in your business. Or maybe it's because you've been trying to sound professional or look professional, particularly if you come from a corporate background, like I do. That was a big piece for me when I first started my business because I was used to being in a different environment. So I thought, oh, I need to look professional. It's not, I can't bring too much of myself into this. No, that's where the magic is, actually. So trying to sound and look professional instead of potent, instead of allowing your potency. Oof, yeah, your wildness, your unbound nature, the parts of you that are edgy, maybe a bit dangerous, your most natural self. Can we let that part out to play? So, what becomes possible when you transmit? Like you anchor into this deeper sense of confidence in your voice, in your work. Like when this becomes a practice, this is not like a one off, okay, I'm going to show up and do this for one post and be aware of all these layers. No, this gets to be your new way of being, this new way of being visible, this new way of sharing. Really, I can't tell you how much more confidence it creates. I used to, I remember if I was ever in a group and they would go around and invite people to share, but certainly when I was in my job, like I had a great job in finance, but still I would feel terrified about speaking up. When I started doing my hypnotherapy and I did counseling training, it was really hard for me to share because I wasn't fully confident. I wasn't confident at all about my voice. I wasn't used to using it. I was really overly in this place of, oh, is this okay? Am I saying it right? Am I saying the right thing? So when we shift into this place of transmission, you anchor into so much more confidence in your voice. Like I know now I can't get it wrong. Like when I'm sharing from this place of resonance, of my truth, of alignment. I'm not saying everyone will agree, everyone will like what I'm saying, but I can't get it wrong. When you share from this place, your content, it moves people, they feel it. You create more engagement with less effort. Like my visibility practice, like even this year, it feels like most of the time it is like a joy. It's part of, I'm excited about it, what I'm sharing. I'm excited about doing this. It feels creative to me. It doesn't feel effortful. And I know when I'm sharing from that place, like I will generate more engagement from the people who align. Maybe you don't. To be honest, like when you look at these slides, the words on my slides, which are, like I say, helping to keep me on track, to make sure I share what I want to share. Like they are not, it's not rocket science. You've probably heard similar things before, but it's the energy that I'm sharing with, like how connected I am to what I'm sharing, because I am living this, I am embodying it. It doesn't mean that you in particular will resonate with it. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe I'm not your person when it comes to visibility. But if you are, you're going to feel that. It's not because I've created like really elaborate slides or I'm bringing like something completely groundbreaking. I'm reminding you of how this is, how it gets to be. And also, when you operate from this place of transmission, like transmitting your magic, you get clients who come into your work, come into your offers saying, I don't know what it is quite, but you just spoke to me. Like it felt like you were reading my mind. It felt like you were speaking just to me. This is what happens. And that can be people stepping into your offers. Like it's not necessarily the people who are engaging with your posts. These are people who can just come into your world very quickly in a very decisive way because they are resonating so strongly with what you're transmitting, what you are radiating out there. They feel you. That creative connection is created through everything that you're sharing. It's really holding space for your people to feel you and to step in to your work when they're ready to do that. Oops, forward. So let's tune into this. Let's tune into this. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good, or certainly turn your attention inwards. Just make yourself comfortable. We're going to activate some of this, some of these things we've been talking about today. We're going to see what's there for you right now. So coming into your body, into your being, just tuning into that, the energy of that card I pulled at the beginning, foundations, like feeling your feet on the floor, a sense of grounded rootedness. The roots you have been creating through your visibility practice, the roots you get to create now. Through doing things in a different way, being in a different way when it comes to showing up and sharing your message, your magic, your medicine. Perhaps deepening your breath, breathing into your body, into your being. And with each breath in, inviting in this sense of fullness, the fullness of expression. And at the same time, with each breath out, just breathing away anything that's not you, anything that's not yours. In particular, anything you've been told about visibility and how you should do it, anything that doesn't feel aligned. You don't need to know specifically what that is, just intending to breathe it away now. Really clearing and claiming this space for you, for what you're here to share. And from that place, asking the questions: what truth have I been holding back that my people need to hear? And maybe that comes through in words, or maybe it is more energetic, like you haven't fully been standing behind what you're here to share. If I stopped trying to be understood and started to allow myself to be felt, focusing on being felt, that sense of connection, what would I say? How would I say it? And finally, asking the question, like, what do I really stand for? What is the change I'm creating in the world? Just allowing whatever wants to come, just being in this place of noticing, openness, curiosity. Maybe the answers drop in now, maybe they drop in the hours and days after connecting with this session. But whatever you have, whether that's a feeling, whether it's a knowing, whether it's words, whether it's visuals, I want you to imagine now it's just radiating out into the world without you having to do anything. You are transmitting this essence, this energy, your unique message, your unique voice is radiating, rippling out into the world, your unique transmission. It gets to infuse everything you've ever shared, everything you share from this point forward. Noticing how that feels. That this gets to be part of your foundation now. Whenever it feels complete. For now, just bringing a gentle sense of movement back into your body, opening your eyes, bringing yourself back to where you are. Beautiful, beautiful. So it's just a short activation. You might want to come back to that. You might want to pause this video, do some journaling on what came through. You might want to stay in that place for a little while before moving on. And let's just move forward, because if what I've been sharing has stirred something in you, if you feel it, if you feel like, yes, I am ready for a new way to be when it comes to visibility, when it comes to sharing my magic, I want to tap into this place of radiance, magnetism. I want to transmit my magic out into the world in a more powerful way. This is where we get to go deeper. Yeah. So I have a next step to invite you into. If it resonates, if that feels aligned for you right now, because I know you've got something to say. It's important. Your people are waiting to hear it. Maybe they've heard or received pieces of it, but they're ready for more. Like the mic is yours for the taking. The question is, are you ready? You might not feel entirely ready, to be honest. Are you willing? Like I said, if this has resonated with you, if you want to experiment with this some more, I want to invite you into the Unbound Mic. So, this is a brand new 6 week live experience for soul led women who are ready to speak, transmit, and take up space. Yeah. Take up your space in the world with your message, with your magic, with your medicine. So, over this 6 week journey, what we'll be doing is like helping you to uncover your core message. What is it you stand for? What is the truth you're here to share right now? It might just be refining what you have been sharing. Maybe there's something completely new that's wanting to come through. That's what we're going to hold space for. It's going to be about embodying your presence, like being in this place of embodiment. So important. Actually creating magnetic content from this place of full expression. So this will be a big piece of what we're doing in the Unbound Mic, like helping you to create content in a way that feels really resonant in this place of stopping performing and starting to transmit. It's going to be like a playground to experiment with that together, with me holding space, guiding you through this process. Oops. So, what's included in the Unbound Mic? We have 6 weekly live sessions. So, every week, it's going to be on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. UK time. We're going to come together on Zoom for a blend of teaching, hot seat coaching, channeling, energetic work to activate your full voice. So, these sessions will be, what's the word I want to use? We will focus on whatever feels most powerful for you, for the group in each of these sessions. So it may be one week we come together, work with a prompt, play with a prompt, and actually are creating content, creating what to share, like in the session. Maybe you have questions. We might do a visibility audit. Like you're going to get everything you need to really create a vibrant visibility practice over these 6 weeks to activate your full voice. We're going to have a dedicated community, so a pop-up Facebook group for support, integration, and behind the scenes encouragement. So you get to come together in community as you do this. It's part of like supporting your nervous system through this process. And you get access to the Vibrant Visibility Vault, a treasure trove of meditations, prompts, EFT tapping routines. That's another tool that we get to use, and activations to connect you with your most magnetic self. Going backwards, going forwards. So the Unbound Mic is for you if you're a soul-led entrepreneur, author, or creative. If you are tired of overthinking your content, that is exhausting. We don't want that anymore. If you're craving unfiltered expression, like your potency, you can feel it when you're being your most potent self. And if you're ready to build a movement, not just a business, like you have something that is really important to you, you might not know exactly what you stand for right now, but you get to uncover that during the Unbound Mic. And you are in this place, like I said, of creating a movement. It's something that's important to you. So are you ready to take the mic? I hope so. I'm going to stop sharing. So wherever you're watching this right now, you will see the details below this video. The live round, this first live round of the Unbound Mic starts on May the 6th, runs for 6 weeks live. You get lifetime access to all the resources. So take a look. And if it's for you, I hope you will join us. I am going to leave it there. If you've got any questions at all, let me know. And here's to you taking the mic, sharing your message, sharing your magic, so sharing your medicine in the most powerful way. I'm excited to see the impact that you get to have. Lots of love, and I'll see you soon.